Across the dusty plains of northern Nigeria, the echoes of gunfire often replace the sound of morning church bells. For years, these attacks, brutal, sudden, and devastating, have taken the lives of thousands of Christians. But for a long time, the world barely noticed. That changed when one man, former U.S. President Donald J. Trump, spoke out. His words ignited a firestorm that rippled across the globe. Some called it truth-telling. Others said it was dangerous rhetoric. But one thing was certain. The world could no longer ignore what was happening in Nigeria. This is Faith Under Fire. How Trump's words ignited global attention on Nigeria's Christian persecution. For decades, Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, has struggled with waves of violence. While much of the world knows about Boko Haram, the terror group that once pledged allegiance to ISIS, few understand the broader conflict tearing communities apart. In the country's middle belt and northern states, armed groups, often labeled bandits, or Fulani militants, have launched relentless attacks on predominantly Christian villages, homes burned to ashes, families massacred in their sleep, churches reduced to rubble. Reports from human rights organizations estimate that more than 60,000 Christians have been killed over the past 2 decades. But these numbers barely make the evening news until Trump spoke. In 2020, during an interview and several speeches, Donald Trump made a bold statement that shocked both diplomats and the media. He said, "Christians are being killed in Nigeria. They're being slaughtered. We have to do something about it." For many, this was the first time they had ever heard about violence against Christians in Africa. Trump's words echoed through churches, political forums, and social media worldwide. Some saw him as a defender of persecuted believers. Others accused him of using religion to divide and inflame. But beneath the political noise, the truth was undeniable. Countless Nigerians were suffering in silence. Footage and testimonies began to emerge. Burned-out churches, grieving families, and survivors telling haunting stories. A pastor from Plateau State recalled how armed men stormed his village one Sunday morning. He said, "They came while we were worshiping. We ran into the bush. When we returned, everything was gone. The church, the houses, even the crops. These were not isolated events. In many rural communities, security forces arrived too late or didn't come at all. Humanitarian workers described entire villages wiped off the map overnight. In Kaduna, Benue, and Taraba states, Christian farmers and Muslim herders clashed in deadly cycles of revenge. But while local leaders called it a land conflict, others saw a pattern, one targeting Christians specifically. Nigeria is a nation of faith, deeply divided between its Christian South and Muslim North. Religion runs through its culture, politics, and daily life. When Trump framed the violence as a Christian genocide, it drew mixed reactions. To Christian communities in Nigeria, his words felt like long-awaited recognition. To government officials, they were an embarrassment and a political headache. The Nigerian government quickly pushed back, insisting the violence was not religious, but a result of banditry, poverty, and climate conflict. Critics accused Trump of oversimplifying a complex issue. But for many victims, the debate didn't matter. The pain was real, and the killings continued. Trump's statement sparked a global conversation. Christian organizations across the US and Europe began calling for action. The hashtag #PrayForNigeria trended on social media. Faith-based groups lobbied governments to recognize the crisis as religious persecution. In 2020, the US State Department officially placed Nigeria on its special watch list for countries violating religious freedom. For the first time, the world's most powerful nation was watching Nigeria closely, not for its oil, not for its politics, but for its people. Despite the noise online, mainstream media coverage remained limited. Some journalists claimed the narrative was too complicated or politically sensitive. Others argued that Western media avoid stories that challenge their political views. Meanwhile, survivors in remote villages kept burying their dead unnoticed. Critics of the Nigerian government accused officials of downplaying the killings to protect the country's image. There were claims of corruption, cover-ups, and even complicity by local security forces. Was the violence purely ethnic, or was there a silent campaign against Christians? The truth depends on who you ask. but the suffering remains undeniable. Trump's involvement in this issue reflected a broader political pattern using faith-based narratives to shape global policy. During his presidency, Trump positioned himself as a champion of religious freedom, appealing to millions of evangelical voters. Nigeria became a key talking point. He raised the issue with President Muhammadu Buhari during a 2018 White House visit, an unusual move in international diplomacy. In that meeting, Trump directly asked Buhari why Nigerian Christians were being killed. Buhari later said he was shocked by Trump's bluntness, but that moment forced Nigerian authorities to publicly acknowledge what many tried to deny. In the months following Trump's statements, aid organizations and churches began receiving more international support, but on the ground, attacks continued. In January 2022, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto, Matthew Kuka, accused the government of failing its people. He said, "If the government cannot protect its citizens, it has lost its moral authority to lead." Hundreds of Christian villages have since been displaced. Survivors now live in refugee camps, waiting for peace that never comes. And though Trump is no longer president, the attention he drew to Nigeria's crisis remains one of his most controversial foreign policy legacies. Not everyone applauded Trump's words. Some analysts accused him of weaponizing religion to fuel his political base. Others said his comments increased religious tension, making it harder for peace advocates in Nigeria to foster unity. But there's another side to the story. For countless Christians who lost everything, their homes, their families, their churches, Trump's recognition was a rare moment of validation. It meant their pain was finally seen. Let's hear their voices. In a small camp outside Jos, a woman named Ruth tells her story. "They came at night. My husband tried to protect the children, but they shot him. I ran with my baby into the bush. I don't know where my other children are." Another survivor, Pastor Daniel, says quietly, "We prayed for help. When we heard Trump talk about us, we cried. Someone finally spoke for us." These stories never make headlines, but they are the heart of this tragedy. Even today, the debate continues. Is this a religious war or something deeper? Scholars point to complex causes: land disputes, poverty, ethnic rivalries, terrorism. But survivors keep repeating one truth: they were attacked because of their faith. The Nigerian government continues to reject the Christian genocide label, but international watchdogs, including Open Doors and the International Society for Civil Liberties, insist that Nigeria ranks among the most dangerous places in the world for Christians. Trump's comments, whether politically motivated or not, forced the world to pay attention. They sparked investigations, documentaries, and discussions that might never have happened otherwise. Faith leaders around the world began asking, how many more churches must burn before the world calls it what it is? Persecution. One voice can change everything. For years, Nigeria's Christian communities were forgotten. Then one man spoke, and the silence broke. Whether you agree or disagree with Trump's politics, one thing is clear. His words ignited a conversation that still burns today. A conversation about faith, justice, and the forgotten victims of a hidden war. In the end, this story isn't just about Donald Trump or politics or religion. It's about humanity. It's about people, fathers, mothers, children, caught in a storm of violence and forgotten by the world. Maybe words alone can't stop bullets, but sometimes words can light the way. Because when the world listens, change becomes possible. This is Crime Chronicle, uncovering the hidden stories behind the world's most shocking crimes, one truth at a time.